One rainy evening, Kenena had a one-night stand with a street girl, and the girl got pregnant for him. When he was told about the pregnancy, he was happy and immediately asked the street girl to move into his family house. When Mazi Ihanacho heard of his son and the pregnant maiden, as a reputable man, he quickly went with his kinsmen to the maiden's village because he wouldn't want his son to live with a woman who he was not married to. After 9 months, she had a baby girl for Kenena. Everybody in the family was happy for them, but Kenena was not happy as he had anticipated having a male child. Once upon a time, in a faraway village of Ohuba, there lived a man named Ifanacho. Ifanacho had 3 sons, whose names were Ifani, Kenena, and Osita. Ifani, his first son, was married to a woman named Olako. Ifani's wife Olako owned a very big shop just very close to their house where she milled cassava, corn, and other grains for people. Her husband usually goes there every weekend to help her out because great number of customers flocked in her shop during the weekends. People carrying different grains to be grounded were served turn after turn, though she had workers and enough grinding machine that made the work easier. Ifeanyi loved to assist her wife every weekend. Olako was a hardworking woman and loyal, and Ifeanyi loved her so much. Mazi Iheanacho's second son, Osita, was also hardworking. He owned a large farm where he reared goats, sheep, and cow. His third son, Kenena, doesn't do anything for a living, and he doesn't bother because there are lots of land and properties to be sold. Whenever he ran out of cash, he would sell one out of their several plots of land. He visited every bush bar in Ohuba on a daily basis. People of Ohuba were blessed with so many lands and properties. The forefathers worked hard during their reign to acquire these lands and properties, which their descendants enjoy. In Ohuba, whenever a woman gave birth to a baby boy, 2 plots of land would be awarded to the baby by his grandfather in company of the village chief and elders. The birth of a baby boy over time became the dream of every man. As a result of this ritual, whenever a young man gets married and his wife became pregnant, his mind will be centered on having a baby boy. As time passed, the pressure of having a male child in this particular village became very high. No man wants to miss the plots of land that will be given to his sons when they were born. Mazi Iheanacho's first son, Ifeanyi, and his wife were blessed with a set of twin boys, and the entire family and community were happy for them. On the 7th day, as the custom demand, Mazi Iheanacho in the company of Ohuba elders and chiefs welcomed his grandchildren, and 4 plots of land was awarded to the set of twins. Ifeanyi and Olako sold one of the plots and expanded the milling business. Things continued to move well for them. Osita, Mazi Iheanacho's second son, who was of a marriageable age, met his father and elder brother Ifeanyi and told them of his decision to take a wife. They supported him. Their kinsmen accompanied them to a neighboring community where he went and paid a beautiful maiden's bride price. Osita's wife was hardworking, chubby young woman who was loved by all. Olamma owned a shop in the village market where she sold an immense clothes for people. 9 months after their marriage, they were blessed with a bouncing baby boy. The entire family of Mazi Iheanacho were happy. On the 7th day, as the custom demands, Iheanacho and his kinsmen awarded the newborn baby with 2 plots of land. Osita was happy and used the 2 plots of land for his farm work. That season, he planted varieties of crops. He now owns an expanded farm, and his harvest that year was bountiful. Kenena, Mazi Iheanacho's last son, seeing how well his brothers were doing with their works and marriages, with all the benefits attached to the birth of their sons, he became so furious and wanted a wife by all means. Though his age mates were still struggling to get a stamp for themselves before going into marriage, Kenena started disturbing his father about getting a wife for him. His father encouraged him to get something doing first so he could be able to take care of his family when he finally gets married. Mazi Iheanacho had on several occasions opened a business for his son Kenena, but he ended up squandering the money in the bar. Kenena was unlike his brothers, so lazy and does not even want to stress himself for doing business. His father insisted he got something doing and he refused to accompany him to any family to perform marriage rites because he knew that his son is not yet financially stable to get into marriage. Kenana wanted a wife by all means and never listened to his father and brothers. Whoever wants to see Kenana found him at the bush bar. He spent all his time sitting there and playing drafts with his friends. One rainy evening, Kenana had a one-night stand with a street girl and the girl got pregnant for him. When he was told about the pregnancy, he was happy and immediately asked the street girl to move into his family house. When Mazi Iheanacho heard of his son and the pregnant maiden, as a reputable man, he quickly went with his kinsmen to the maiden's village because he wouldn't want his son to live with a woman who he was not married to. After 9 months, she had a baby girl for Kenenna. Everybody in the family was happy for them, but Kenenna was not happy as he had anticipated having a baby boy so he can benefit the land reward. His attitude towards Abigail changed and he started hitting her. He hits her on every provocation and sometimes for doing absolutely nothing. Kenenna spent all his time in the bush bar, drinking and cracking jokes with people like him. Mazi Iheanacho decided to open up a shop for her daughter-in-law Abigail, since Kenenna was not doing anything to help his family. His main purpose of getting a girl pregnant was to have a male child. Abigail was doing well in the business. She sells firewood and coconut in large quantity, and her co-wives always come around to help and cheer her up because her husband no longer comes home. 2 years later, Kenenna took a second wife and abandoned Abigail and her daughter. Her second wife had a set of twin girls, and Kenenna packed all her belongings and sent her out, telling her that he wants a male child. Abigail remained with Kenenna but was receiving hot beating anytime he was drunk. Kenenna continued living a careless life, drinking and spending money anyhow, and sold his own share of land because he had about 10 plots of land that was given to him by his father. Others sold some of their land and expanded their business with the money, but Kenenna squandered his own. He would always say, "Hence there is land, there is money." Kenenna continued selling his land and having fun in the bar with street girls and spending money anyhow. Abigail got pregnant again and had a set of twin girls. He sent her out from the house and sold the land his father had given her to farm on. Kenenna sold all his lands and properties and was left with nothing. He wandered around the streets cutting people's plantain and cassava just to eat. He stole and sold people's land without their knowledge. He continued doing this and never cared to open up a business or starting up something to earn a living. The last land he sold, the owner found out and arrested him. Kenenna was jailed and sent to prison. His brothers flourished and lived happily. His daughters grew up and they were all doing marvelously well, taking good care of their mother, while Kenenna spent the rest of his life in the prison.